So, The Big Bang Theory, which is now in its 11th season, is hardly anyone's choice for Most Controversial Show on TV award. Nevertheless, reviews of the show are surprisingly polarized. It's basically a love it or hate it phenomenon. While some people praise it for its refreshing look at geek subculture, others find that the humor is mostly generated by mocking the nerdy tendencies of the main characters and portraying their idiosyncrasies as something that people should be embarrassed about. Some people refuse to watch the show at all because they feel like they can't, or perhaps shouldn't, identify with nerd culture, while others say that it's not truly nerd culture at all, it's just cynically faking it in order to appeal to a growing geek audience. Now personally, I do enjoy the show, although I do have to take it in small doses. But when you watch the show long enough, you see some truly bizarre things that start to become major distractions. In fact, you could almost make a drinking game out of some of these because they're these weird little details that you see in virtually every episode. So, without further ado, here's my list of things you can't unsee in The Big Bang Theory. The main characters are supposedly these hardcore geeks who talk about cosplay multiple times. They reference making their own costumes and owning sewing machines and so forth. But whenever they're actually shown cosplaying, they're wearing these cheap, tacky, store-bought Halloween costumes. You know, except for their Star Trek costumes. Those were pretty legit. Cheap costumes are even less forgivable considering the high budget of the show, especially if you've seen what amateur cosplayers are able to do on a shoestring budget. And these guys are freaking scientists with access to tools, materials, and facilities that most cosplayers can only dream of. Now, if they wanted to accurately portray the passion that most geek congoers have for costuming, then their wardrobe department should know better than to provide them with stuff from Halloween Express. Sure, many cosplayers buy their costumes. There's nothing wrong with that. But the big part of the joke here is like, haha, those stupid sissy nerds spend all that time and money sewing their own stupid costumes. So if you're going to make the characters laughable for making their own costumes, then put them in decent costumes. But if you're going to insist on putting them in this store-bought junk, then those jokes just don't work. Yes, it's nitpicky, but honestly, it's just distracting as hell to continually see them in these weird foam-padded monstrosities. I've just got to say it. The comic books in Stewart's store follow no rhyme or reason. There's a bunch of random titles in random boxes. Now, I understand that this is a minor background detail, and it plays no part in advancing the plot of any episode, but it's still extremely distracting for people like me, whose attention is automatically grabbed whenever they see comic books to wonder how the hell anyone is supposed to find anything in there. So apparently, it's incredibly easy to meet celebrities just by living in the greater Los Angeles area. They've hung out with Wil Wheaton numerous times, as well as LeVar Burton, Bill Nye, and the fictional Arthur Jeffries, who's sort of a parody/homage to Don Mr. Wizard Herbert. They once ran into Summer Glau on a train, they bumped into Nathan Fillion in a coffee shop, Penny got Leonard Nimoy's autograph and DNA at the Cheesecake Factory. Sheldon was able to track down Stanley's address and walk right up to the front door. You get the idea. So, to everyone living in Southern California, if you haven't met at least 3 of your favorite celebrities by now, what the hell are you doing? So in one episode, Penny decides to test Leonard and Sheldon's intelligence by giving them a pop culture pop quiz, and the whole scene is just incredibly cringeworthy. Now, these two may not have been able to correctly guess People Magazine's Sexiest Man of the Year. I mean, I don't know anyone who could. But they had to at least be aware that it was going to be someone from the mainstream, not anyone from Star Trek. And the final question was the worst of all.
Tweety Bird taught he taught a what?
Romulan.
Okay, are the writers seriously trying to suggest that geeks don't know who Tweety Bird is? That they know nothing outside of sci-fi? I mean, these guys were kids once. In fact, they're basically just overgrown kids now. They would definitely know that the answer to that question wasn't Romulan. It was supposed to be played for laughs, and I know that writing jokes isn't easy. Anyone who's watched any of my videos has seen that for themselves. But it was still just bad writing and sloppy characterization. This one isn't like a nerd detail, but it's definitely something that once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it, and personally I find it very distracting. The four main characters wear virtually the exact same type of outfit in every single episode. Minor characters have referred to Sheldon as the guy with two shirts a few times over the course of the series, and you can see that his signature look is some sort of geeky t-shirt over a long sleeve shirt. Well, come on, it's not like he invented the look. Howard's love of turtlenecks and dickies has also been remarked upon, as well as his tight pants and huge belt buckle collection. And sure enough, in almost every episode, he's wearing all of these items. But for some reason, they've never addressed the fact that Leonard is almost always wearing a shirt, a hoodie, and a jacket, even when he's relaxing in his own apartment. Why does he need so many layers? And Raj is almost always wearing 4 layers: a t-shirt, a collared shirt, a sweater vest, and a windbreaker. And keep in mind, this show is set in Pasadena, where it rarely gets cold enough to warrant all those clothes, especially indoors. Now here's another thing you might wonder if you watch early episodes of the show alongside later episodes of the show. What happens to all of Penny's friends? She's shown with this huge group of friends and acquaintances during her Halloween party, and is later shown with a smaller group of friends that she goes dancing with, who are never introduced and were never seen before or since. But once she starts to get more deeply involved in the lives of the 4 guys and their significant others, all of Penny's other friends just disappear. And you can take this in 2 ways. One, that she has grown as a person and sees the value of a small, intimate group of close friends as opposed to dozens of superficial, casual friends. Or 2, the more troubling option, is that the writers of the show are, consciously or subconsciously, implying that because Penny fraternizes with these losers, she has also become a loser and is no longer part of the popular crowd. Or am I reading too much into this? Yeah, probably. Well, whatever the case, have fun watching the show after this. Hopefully it doesn't distract you so much that you can't enjoy it anymore. In fact, hopefully it prompts you to pay a little more attention to the background details of TV production, just for fun. Or that you do decide to make The Big Bang Theory into a drinking game, because why not? Whatever you choose to do, don't forget to take a break from your TV once in a while and check back in with us here, and hey, maybe give us a click of those like, share, or subscribe buttons. Thanks, and we'll see you when we see you.